Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Average Joe Sports, a sports lovers podcast. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the pod today. If you could, please make sure to hit the like button. It helps the channel out a ton and also allows me to continue making content just like this. So without further ado, let's get right into it. In today's episode, I'm continuing my NFL record predictions, this time with the NFC South. And in first place, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a record of 14-3 and 6-0 within the division. Tampa Bay returns all 22 starters on offense and defense. Never before in the Super Bowl era has that been done. The defense that held the Chiefs out of the end zone in the Super Bowl looks to repeat. They seem hungry and willing to put the work in. Looks to make it an eighth. And I really hope with everything inside of me that they don't go back to back. TB12 is just a different breed. Congrats to him. The GOAT. Right now at least. In due time, Pat Mahomes. In due time. The offense is just going to be as dangerous as they were last year, if not more so. Antonio Brown has a full offseason involved with the offense, starting from week 1. So the connection with Brady is just going to be that much better. And of course, we all know about Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Rojo. Everybody's back. So look for Tampa to be another dominant force inside the NFC. In second place, we have the New Orleans Saints with a record of 12-5 and 3-3 within the division. No Michael Thomas, of course. It's going to be a huge blow for them. We all know the situation with him. He was injured in the offseason. The Saints wanted him to get ankle surgery as soon as the season was over. His team elected not to. Said it would just pretty much heal itself. It didn't. And he got surgery in June. The Saints and Sean Payton came out, said they weren't too happy about it. And then, of course, Michael Thomas being Michael Thomas, he's going to clap back. But that situation's fire seems to have burned out, so that's a good thing. But he's going to be on the PUP list, not available until at least week 6, guys. How will Jameis look in another year inside the Sean Payton offense, though? Has he gotten the turnover situated? Has he gotten the turnover situation under control? I'm sure he has. Sean Payton's going to implement a lot more shorter pass, a little move the chains, and maybe that's what Jameis needs to reemerge himself as a starter in the league. The sad part about it is that they will open up the season not at home due to Hurricane Ida, so they will be playing their first game against Green Bay in Jacksonville. We'll see how much of a disadvantage that puts them at, because we all know that the Saints' home field advantage is one of the best in the NFL. How do you guys think Drew Brees is going to do in the booth this year? Comment down below. In third place, I have the Atlanta Falcons with a record of 7 wins, 10 losses, and 3-3 within the division. How will it feel without Julio Jones in Atlanta? It's the post-Julio Jones era. We'll see how they do. How will Matt Ryan look without his favorite target over the past 8-9 years? Will Calvin Ridley finally emerge as a number 1 and a more consistent target on a week-in, week-out basis? I think he can. I think he can for sure. The only thing for me that he needs to figure out is being consistent. He's going to be facing a lot of double teams now. Let's see how he faces that. A lot of people are in on Gage this year for the Falcons. I'm not too sure about him. I haven't watched enough about him to really have an opinion on that. But we'll see when this season officially starts. But the defense needs to make strides for sure. In the trenches is where Atlanta can either lose a bunch of games or they can win a bunch of games with their defensive line. You can't be bottom 5 in defense. Middle of the road is where you need to aim for. It does look like Atlanta will be a middle of the road team. And if they are, I don't know what really takes them to the next level. Maybe once Brady retires, we'll see how New Orleans does with Jameis as their head guy. Ryan, how many years does he have left? Does he want to stay a Falcon forever? Will he move on? The addition of Kyle Pitts as the other weapon to kind of hopefully maybe replace Julio. I don't know. That's a lot to put on a rookie. But we'll see how he does. He's one of the most highly graded tight ends of all time. The highest pick tight end in the last 50 years. Again, I just need to see some Kyle Pitts actual game day tape to really make my opinion on them. But Atlanta feels like a middle of the road team who has maybe a little bit more potential on the upside than 7 wins, but I think it's good right there at 7. And in last place, we have the Carolina Panthers at a shocking 2 wins, 15 losses, and 0-6 within the division. 2-15 seems kind of crazy, doesn't it, with all the talent that they have on that team? That just goes to show you how much I dislike Sam Darnold. How many ghosts will he see in this season? We all know Sam Darnold, of course. I don't remember if it was a Monday or a Thursday night football game against the Patriots. They get shut out. He says the famous quote, "I'm seeing ghosts out there." It was not a good night for Sam Darnold and the Jets. The defense is still young. A couple good-looking prospects in their secondary. I know they've drafted pretty much solid defense the last couple of years in the draft. But let's give them some time. Let's see how they'll grow. How will Sam Darnold look throwing to DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, of course, Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Pretty much pencil in 1,000 yards rushing for the guy at least. Upwards of 10 touchdowns. But I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey. I just don't think the Panthers have anything to hope for this year. Now, just a recap on those predictions for the NFC South. In first place, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a record of 14-3 and 6-0 within the division. In second place, I have the New Orleans Saints with a record of 12-5 and 3-3 within the division. In third place, I have the Atlanta Falcons with a record of 7-10 and also 3-3 within the division. And in last place, I have the Carolina Panthers with a record of 2 wins, 15 losses, and 0-6 within the division. And that was today's episode of Average Joe Sports, a sports lovers podcast. If you could, please take a second to hit the like button, comment, and of course subscribe. And I'll be back with another episode soon.